Well, good morning. It's my no sales meeting. I guess Tom 2 cents with no salespeople anymore. So still a strange feeling. And my unemployed camera person. So here we sit at the Bakerstown garage. Number one, we're trying a new mic, so see if the sound isn't a little better today. Of course, we don't know what we're doing, so we're just feeling our way through this. And as before, I have my notes, so I have to keep looking at that. Sorry. And we are at TomHenryRacing.com. Still working on that, but that'll be up. But emails Tom at TomHenryRacing.com or Kate at TomHenryRacing.com if you need to get a hold of us, and we'll see where we go with that. Venue, of course, the Bakerstown Garage. So local news, if anybody's local to this that listens, the Little Balcony Big Band is going to play Wednesday night, the 13th. So looking forward to that and being back in. Hopefully they don't shut us down, but should be fun to play again. So if anybody's out and about, come and see us at 7 o'clock at Jurgles. So I was thinking of, as usual, as I bounce around during the week, but thinking about perspective. I was sitting in my den and I had this nice painting on the wall, and I'm looking at it and I thought that painting is off center. I need to straighten that up. And I stood up and went over and grabbed the painting, and it's like, no, it's not off center. So I went to the left a little bit since I'd been on the right, and it looks like it might be that way. And it really made the point to me that it's perspective. Depending on how you're looking at something is depending on the answer you get. Very obvious, I know, stupid probably, but when you look at perspective, you think about the media and what are we being fed. Depending on which side of the media you're on, the left or right. Sorry, stupid analogy, but in looking at some of the things I saw, for instance, some pictures of the Capitol incident that we're all proud of. When you looked at pictures, there was a picture of it just people jammed up all over the front of it. But then there was another picture taken from further back where there was, 100 yards of emptiness behind them. There was like this crowd, but then there was no crowd. So was that picture taken so early that nobody was there, or was it taken during and there were less people than you think, or you were told? What's the perspective of what we're seeing? There was a picture, some video of a cop leading people in to the building. But then later I saw the same video and they said he was leading them away from the Capitol portion, trying to get them away from the area where all the senators were or whatever. So two complete different perspectives on the same video. This is what we really need to be cautious with. We all jump on a position, but we need to think about what we're being fed. I think especially we all need to oppose the violence. It doesn't matter. It's just wrong. This can't be the way we run our country. We've got a radical left and we've got a radical right, and those two pieces are not good for us. I think that there's a large swath of people down the middle that can lean one way or the other, but they're good people and they don't want to see this. And I think it's the majority, and hopefully that isn't a fig Newton of my imagination, that there is a big swath out there that opposes this, and somehow that swath needs to get control of things, and otherwise it's just going to escalate. One does one thing, somebody does the other, and we see that with Dems and Republicans right now, just escalating. So not a good position for us to be in. There's too much of a political divide. I think we're fed by social media too on a lot of this stuff that perhaps we didn't know before. The political position of people is just announced by their stature on Facebook. Unless you're posting the cat videos or something that's funny. As soon as you make a political thing, something happens. friends are friends, in my opinion. And I think before social media, you know, I may not have known where one of my friends stood politically because it just didn't come up, or it was never, it was glossed over. And we're still friends, but you start seeing the posts, and all of a sudden, this divide starts between friends, and I think it's because we didn't know our political positions before. But my point here is friends are friends, and you need to get over this, and you know, instead of striking out when you think about who this person is and how you've gotten along and how you met and what you have in common, it shouldn't be. We need to set that aside, and if you let it ruin your friendship, I think that's something we're doing wrong. So I'm going to jump a little further here, but all of this stuff, this perspective, this media, political divide, all of this has created reduced trust in the government. We don't believe they can really function properly or take care of us, and reduced trust in the news. Certainly, we don't know what it is. Is this true or is this not true? We see so many positions on the same subject that I think it's just creating confusion and angst in people. So we've got a situation in the U.S. where we've got less trust in the government and the news that creates this trouble within us. It troubles our hearts, and it's not a good situation. This loss of confidence in the U.S., I think if you looked at what other foreign states thought and said about the U.S. and the situations we've had, there's a loss of confidence there in other countries. Whereas we stood tall before, I'm not so sure we do now. That loss of confidence, though, can also be economic. So the value of the dollar can drop. The investments, foreign investments can drop. This creates some problems. We're running on a tremendous deficit that is just huge, and it's totally based on confidence. It's not based on can we ever pay it back, because we're too far into it at this point. So confidence is an important thing, both for our people and for the world. So you take it to the stimulus, and okay, we're going to put some more stimulus out locally. I'm pulling back a little bit here, but we're going to take stimulus and throw that out there. But multiple accountants and business people and people I talked to said, sooner or later we're going to pay for this. All right, somebody has to pay. You can go back to one of my sales meetings that said, who's paying? And it always comes down to that. But somehow we're going to pay for this. And I think the point here is, do we really need stimulus? What we need is employment. And how do you get employment? You make businesses able to hire and run, which we don't really have right now. So, and yes, I'm sure I'll get argument on that, but think about it. If we can run employment, you don't need stimulus. So the cost of the stimulus, the deficit, these things are all primary. I think that we need someone with a moral compass, which you may say would be liberal, and a fiscal compass, which you may say would be conservative. But it's not that easy. You know, and in some ways, obviously, I'm a conservative, but I have a moral compass. Maybe you would consider it weaker, but I like to think that I'll donate and do things for those that I want to, and not that I'm forced to, or that the government tells me I have to, or the government takes my money and gives it to people. That's where I have the problem. But I've got that moral compass where I want to help people, and however, I want to be fiscally responsible in doing it. So there's a fine fence line for you. So anyhow, I think we need somebody running the country that has a moral compass and a fiscal compass, and I don't think we've seen that for a hell of a while. So maybe if somebody can resurrect Reagan, we could get something done, and that'll probably cause some issues too. But that's my 2 cents. So just my thoughts on the U.S. today, and I hope you like it. It's not a sales meeting today, but what the heck, I don't have any salespeople, so I gotta find something to do. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you soon. So long.